There has never been a greater time to live than now, because we have all the tools, we have all the solutions. Yes, the real difficulty, the challenge is the human factor. The awakening is in realizing that, come to think of it, we have everything, because nothing is created, nothing is destroyed. Nobody is advocating for the fall of the structures of capitalism. No. This is what we have. We are looking at the now. But then in the now, we also have the indigenous systems. The real question is how to bridge these two worlds. Regenerative systems are available. We can regenerate agriculture. We can regenerate education. We can regenerate our political systems. We can regenerate our legal systems. We can regenerate business. There's nothing standing on our way. Where there is a will, there is a way. Yeah, the real question is if there is a will. Yeah. The global north has come up with these labels and concepts for this dichotomy of cultures. So they start to talk about global north, global south. They start to talk about developed and underdeveloped, less developed. And this brings a lot of questions. People who usually will have abundance, be it food, culturally, they are very rich, and they believe in themselves, and then to be tagged as very poor because of their own way of perceiving prosperity. There's a little aberration, and then it starts to create apathy. Then these people say, well, these people don't care about us. In fact, they undermine us, and they start to subjugate us, so they are not for us. But then we are called to live as a whole, as a one people. That's what we are as humans. So the question of color becomes an issue. That's why we still believe in colonization up to today. And when we cannot appreciate other people's systems, we cannot also appreciate, for example, that the indigenous systems have maybe a solution for the decay of the society. Because let me give another example about food. The children, no matter how they come into this world, they are already initiated to know where their food comes from, to know how they connect with the land. So they know that there is respect for the elders. They know that the spiritual forest is a special place where you don't touch. In fact, it's believed that it's a sacred shrine of the life. So you have to treat it with respect. Same for food. If children don't know where their food comes from, they believe that all the food is harvested in the supermarket. There's something wrong with that education. There's already a disconnect. So our concept of education now becomes what we call upbringing, because it's not about the individual. A child belongs to the community. Every home belongs to every other person. This kind of living, which we build our own systems around, the food, the economy of love is all around this way of thinking. I think here in the West, people tend to call it solidarity, but it's beyond solidarity. It's a spiritual way of understanding oneness, of understanding being. Being then includes integration, interconnections, And actually the understanding that the whole is diversity, that diversity is the spice of life. Once children grow up not understanding this, something shifts in the system. So coming here to the West, I realized that there is a gap between the generations, and it shouldn't be. It's because of structures, the way they have created these separations, instead of the elderly handing down the knowledge to the young ones to create the cycle. They separate the elders from the young ones and put them in a home. And that bond, that warmth, be it of family, be it of society, is tampered with. Naturally, it shouldn't be that way. So there are some elements which I think, and I think it is the time now, when everybody is talking about changing the systems, that people are beginning to have a certain awareness that actually there is interbeing and people can be interested in other cultures. And it is when this mix is going to happen, because slowly people don't see it, but it's happening. Young people who believed, for example, when I was growing up, the whole world for me was just the spiritual forest and the village around me and the rivers. But now there is a different understanding of what the world is. And I think it should also be brought to young people. And I think that's what I bring to the West, that young people can understand that education is broader than the single track minded education of one thing moving from north to south and never from south to north. So this is the intersection where I feel that with my gifts that I have the possibility now also of being in the West, through connecting technology with culture, connecting technology with indigenous knowledge, connecting technology with regenerative agriculture, then we have regenerative education, and it's good for all.